1994 C10 donor truck to do this restomod with. Here is where I got my cab. First test fit, the firewall modifications. There is so much done to this truck, it is unreal. I'll start with the story of this truck. When my stepdad came back from Germany, he bought this truck from the state of Tennessee. He gave me a 55 Chevy Bel Air, and that ended up getting sold to put groceries in the house. In turn, he said, when I turned 16, this is my truck. When I turned 16, I drove the truck about 6 months when a lady turned in front of me and I totaled the truck. I restored the truck, painted it white, and ended up selling it to pay bills. I regretted it daily. About 8 years later, I seen a truck cab sitting behind a shed out in the country, and I stopped and asked if I could buy it. When I got it home, I opened a glove box, and my registration was still in the glove box. It went through several transformations throughout the years, but this final one, I decided to restomod it. I put it on a 94 C10 floors, firewall, chassis, the whole 9 yards. I even used the 94 305 with 4L60E transmission. Doing the modification, you can see there is a lot of fabrication. I built that tailgate right there from scratch. I stamped the letters, not whole 9 yards. I widened the bumper 8 inches and filled the top in to close in the gap, put a hitch in it. I did weld the whole front fenders, nose, and everything together and did a forward tilt hood. Honestly, I didn't care for it all that much. That's why I modified it again later on down the years. This truck's set for another 5 years while I worked at a fabrication shop. And when I dug it back out and started working on it again, a guy on Facebook asked me to do his truck. So this went back out into storage and I did his. It took another 5 or 6 years to get back onto my truck. I would do a little bit here, there, and it seemed like I was not making any headway. Well, one day I decided I'm going to put all customer vehicles on hold while I get my truck on the road. And then I busted butt and got it all together. There was still a ton of fabrication to do at this point. I had to build my own hood hinges because of the molding of the 94 to the 65, which I will be doing the same hinges on the blown budget. It's coming together at this point, and then I got real busy again, had to hold on. There is my stepdad there. And then I brought it back out one final time and did a 2-week or 3-week push on this truck to get it on the road and done. There is the 305 that was in it. I built side racks for the bed. The floor rails I made all in one piece, made it easier. I set the wood in there, set that down, put nuts underneath. I knew I wouldn't have time to do a full-on paint job all at one time, so I just started painting parts and pieces and putting it together. When I got that together, I went to the next set of pieces and started painting it. There's the widened fenders and lowered step. I ended up putting a step in the step to go around the leaf spring perches. Those are the tags that are on it now. There's the rack that I made. Dakota Digital Dash. Got matting on the floor for sound. These trucks were always real tinny. This was the very first day I drove the truck. Had a lot of issues with the electronics in the 4L60E. That was all rebuilt. Did end up getting those fixed, but it took a while. First show was at Culver's. There's my Fury beside it. That one will be on the chopping block before long, too. My first trophy for my own vehicle that I've ever won. A lot of my vehicles that I've built have gotten trophies, but this is the first one of my own vehicle. I enjoyed this truck over the years, and it will never leave. Right now, it is getting some major upgrades. It is getting some stuff that I will be showing a video on that. That's why I haven't been driving it, but I can't wait to get it back. If you want to see more of this truck, look through the playlist under the Blue Mule. You'll see what video I do have of the build.